Thank you.
And we are glad they are here now, safely. So we take the Labour Party national anthem. Labour Party is our own. Labour Party is our own. Nigeria go better when Labour Party don dey rule.
I'm honored to address this crucial general meeting of the LPFCT Elder Stakeholders Forum, convening at a pivotal moment of our history. The expiration of the Barrister Julius Abure-led National Working Committee tenure has participated a crisis, resulting in the loss of our National Assembly majorities. However, the inauguration of the LP National Transition Committee, NTC, under our amiable distinguished leader, Comrade Abubakar leadership, brings hope for restructuring and rebuilding our party on the constitutional and lawful foundation. We enthusiastically endorse the NTC commitment to for an inclusive World LGA Area Council and State Congresses, culminating in a transparent national convention. This process will yield elected Labour Party executive committees members from the world to national levels, revitalizing our party democratic fabrics. His Excellency Dr. Peter Obi, at the helm, we are confident that the Labour Party possesses the vision and the leadership to guide Nigeria towards a brighter future in 2027 general election. Our party's remarkable achievements in the last general election demonstrated a growth, strength, and acceptable nationwide. The recent Bauchi State Local Government Council election, where Labour Party triumphed without fielding a candidate, underscored the massive recognition of our party as a catalyst for transformative change. We commend the leadership excellence of Comrade Umar and his executive committee members and pray for a successful transition as they work tirelessly to rescue and rebuild our great party, Labour Party. I also appreciate the courageous support of the FCT, LP, NTC Chairmanship and Councillorship Aspirants Forum, led by able Mayor Dr. Kingsley Kelachko Koronko, PhD, for joining force with the LP National Transition Committee, NTC, despite receiving suspension letter from the outgone Abure Expert National Executive Working Committee, which are null and void since June 12 when their tenure expired. And any activities done by Abure outgone-led executive cannot stand by the party constitution and the rule of law. The bold FCT chairmanship aspirants has continued to mobilize and sensitize our FCT party faithful members across the globe towards the restoration of our great party through the LP National Transition Committee, that's the NTC. We are proud of them and we continue to offer our wise advice as fatherly support for their efforts. Finally, let me welcome you all to this all-important meeting, as well as wish us all very fruitful deliberation. Thank you. Elder Chika Nwobu, Chairman, FCT Elders Council Forum.
That take Labour Party first. It is only when you take Labour Party first because of its policies, ideologies, and ideals that we want to change Nigeria for the better. That you are able to come together, but you have not gone into the contest, but be one another's helper. It may be possible that we will not all go in and all win, but let's losing make us become enemies to the winners. Let us look at the bigger picture. That wherever we are doing it because we want to change the system that is being very terrible to almost every Nigerian. If we do that, I believe we are going to move forward much, much faster. Having said that, I wouldn't want to say so much because my people have said it all. But let me just try to crown it up. I said earlier that I thank you very much. And I also listened to the MC when I believe he was trying to refer to Barrister Julius Abure. That, oh no, I think it was the Hausa who said it. Is it?
No.
Dangwari.
Mba.
Mba. Let me add it also, Dangwari, Hausa. Because I was speaking with him the other day, but we are not speaking English.
You know all of them.
Now, when he said that, when somebody is of low-level intelligence, and I thought he was referring to Abure, I said, no, that's not the case. It is people who have extreme intelligence that can be able to manipulate. The only good thing is that, like my people say, every day is for the thief, but there shall be one day that is for the honor. I think that's exactly the case with Barrister Julius Abure. The man is very intelligent in negativity. After all, he's a lawyer. Yes, he's very intelligent, but in negative. No, it's true. You are told that he didn't come to the leadership of Labour Party. He was not elected. You know very well what happened. I was president of Nigeria Labour Congress when somebody, I have been trying to recall the person, somebody came to my office as president of NLC then with Barrister Comrade Abure. What did they come for? They said he brought him to beg me to please allow him to come to the Labour Party center as assistant secretary. He was a secretary, I think assistant secretary in Edo. Yes. I said, I have no problem. He's a worker, let him go. I tell you, there was a day I was invited by the secretary, Farouk, when he took me to the office of Abure, that by then chairman of Labour Party. I don't think he spoke more than 5 words to me. He even pretended he never knew me at all in this world. But my joy is that if I is the chairman of Labour Party, I'm not demeaning him. But my joy is that if I go to former President Goodluck Jonathan, or former President Obasanjo, or even IBB, and all these people, if you see how we will sit down and discuss, you know that if an Abure will not recognize me, I don't have any problem. I must say that this gathering is worthwhile. And I thank you very much, sir.
Thank you
because this is the beginning of a journey that, by the grace of God, will make great impact on Nigeria and Nigerians. You must have heard that we are facing a lot of problems here and there. You may not unconnect this with some other hidden powers, but God is our strength. Our hearts, God knows, are open and plain. All we need is to transform and reposition Labour Party so that it shall benefit Nigerians better. Let me just, because the aspirants, I think a group of them came to us and we discussed with them, so I don't want to repeat myself. But let me tell you very briefly how the journey started. Right from the beginning, this fight to reposition Labour Party in its proper path has not started with Abure. Abure just inherited it. The very people that were put by NLC in power were Labour people themselves, Labour leaders. Dan Nwanyai, who was president of Bankers Union. Late A.A. Salam was the general secretary of Nolge, local government employees. So we tried so much. I must tell you, because the other time I was telling some people, I said, during my time, we tried to make them understand that this party is built for a purpose. Don't deviate from that purpose. Well, I could not make it. I could not succeed seriously before my time was up. Ayuba Waba, who succeeded me, tried his best. He could not also come to the end. That is why I was telling some people that Comrade Joe Ajero is the luckiest of all three, because he stood and the battle had gone so far that, like we say, there's no going back. The genesis of this NTC in brief is the fact that there have been chaos. We have been trying to correct this party. Do you know that it is because of the leadership style that we are not even able to we have not realized 1/3 of what we ought to have realized during the 2023 presidential general election. But if you look at it, was carefully designed. Apart from being transactional, the nominations are for the highest bidder, not minding quality or any other considerations. Again, even where quality candidates emerge, then there will now be connivance with other parties so that we dampen the morale of the candidate, or even withdraw him, or put him in a very precarious situation that maybe it will face nullification and so on, just because of the money that the people will collect. And NLC, because NLC honestly is the organization that first established the Labour Party. Even the judge, the Federal High Court judge mentioned that Labour Party, though is not a trade union, but it is established, nurtured, and promoted by NLC for the benefit of Nigerian workers, and by extension for the benefit of Nigerian masses. Unfortunately, we keep seeing things being done differently from the yearnings and aspirations of even the founding fathers. To the extent that NLC at one point had to set up a caretaker committee, meaning sacking those leaders, Salam and so on. There was a serious squabbles between them until they got to a point. They themselves saw that they could not win, and they now said, "Let us settle this," because they went to court. But they now said, "Let us settle," and they came down and agreed on certain terms. And these certain terms, the last part is saying, you, the claimant, and you, the defendants, go and work together to conduct an all-inclusive and expansive convention. And convention would mean start everything from the grassroots. Because if you don't have members, if today you say bring out the registers of membership of Labour Party people in Nigeria, you can't find them. We can't live and work on falsehood when we are preaching that falsehood is not good. So convention would mean you do the grassroots world congresses, elect leaders, concrete leaders, that will now come together to elect leaders of the local government. And those leaders of the local governments will come together to elect leaders of the state. And it is only when we shall have done that that we will now convene a national convention where delegates will come and genuinely cast their votes for the candidates of their choice. And then when leaders emerge in that process, what will you expect? They must settle down to work for the people. This is what we are saying, and this is what NLC started. So with that arrangement, the judge now, because they agreed on those things, the Federal High Court judge now said, this is my judgment. You must go and do these things together. That is why the problem came in. Because by 2021, that's the then leader, A.A. Salam, died. And it is a story for another day to tell you how Abure emerged as even the chairman. The constitution provides that there are deputies. And by hierarchy, if there's no chairman, it is one of the deputies that will step in. And even after, if there are no more deputies, there are 6 vice chairmen. But Abure was not even in the line of the chairmanship. But he manipulated his way. That's why I said he is extremely intelligent.
Intelligent rule.
In negativity. He's a Yahoo boy. Yes. So with that, even with that court judgment, the man now continued to ignore the judgment. Each time NLC will say, come, let us do this thing. At one point, even INEC had to write to them, to say, look, you must comply with the consent judgment. Unfortunately, they decided to look the other way. And the journey continued and the struggle continued. Up to a point where INEC decided to call the 2 parties. Who are the 2 parties? Nigeria Labour Congress and the Labour Party, the leadership. They sat down under the watchful eyes of INEC and said, okay, let's plan what to do. INEC now, they now marshaled out that we shall do A, B, C. There are certain nominations that will be made by NLC based on the provisions of the Constitution. And then Labour Party will complete the other part. And this agreement was signed by Abure himself as national chairman and Umar Farouk as national secretary on behalf of Labour Party. And on the other side, it was signed by Ayuba Waba, president of NLC, and Emmanuel Okpebholo, Secretary General of NLC, on behalf of NLC. So any sane person will have now known that you have 2 parties. If you are to resolve this issue, let them come together and continue and work together. We wouldn't have been where we are by now. But again, unfortunately, because of high level of intelligence, Abure decided to look the other way. And instead he started pursuing other ways. To the extent that when he saw that the time was running out for him in 2023, he now summoned another NEC meeting where even the national leader, His Excellency Peter Obi, was even the one who suggested, who now encouraged the NEC, because he sought for more than 2 years extension, Abure. And he started reason for the National Presidential Tribunal, Election Tribunal, that there shouldn't be any distraction. And people agreed. And the leader said, okay, let us give him 1 year. And that 1 year was to end by the 9th of June this year. Instead of him to now say, call the parties to say, let us now plan for a national convention. In fact, he clearly deceived even the NLC, because when he told them he was coming to the office, he actually went to the office, he discussed. That was to tell other people that maybe he had gone and had discussion with NLC leadership. Only for NLC, 2 days later, to hear that they are now in first they wanted to go to Umahia. But because of the alert given by NLC and other stakeholders, and even the party leader, the governor now decided that, no, don't come to my state. So they now moved to Newi, where they held what they called a convention. No, they call it a national convention. But a national convention of the third strongest party in Nigeria. You want to hold it first within a day, within a night, within a hall? I don't think the halls, there are very few halls that can hold, that can be used to hold a proper convention, if you go by the provisions of the Constitution. Anyway, and in that convention, there was no single voting. No single voting. And even the line-up, it is not everybody, I mean every position that was fielded. I think it was later we realized, because when we met somewhere, they were saying, well, you can come, so that's why we reserved certain positions, so that you can come and take these positions. Unfortunately, INEC cautioned that it is not a convention, and the people he was working with in INEC at the lower level did everything to convince the leadership of INEC to allow them to go to Newi, so that it will now be justified. But the national leadership said, no, we cannot do this kind of thing. Now, after that convention, they came out now, as usual, thinking that he has now applied another intelligence to say that he has the next 4 years. But Nemesis was soon to catch up with him, because, like I said, at this point in time, sensing that there could be a vacuum, leadership vacuum, NLC, in its own wisdom, decided through its National Political Commission, said, look, we must do something this time. That thing that Abure and his group decided not to do, by including everybody, let us do it before his time is up. So through consultation, they now called major stakeholders of the party. Therefore, on the 8th of April this year, a summit was held, where a resolution was taken that, in anticipation of the upcoming expiration date of Abure National Working Committee, we cannot afford to allow for a vacuum. Therefore, a National Transition Committee was established. And this National Transition Committee, please take note, is not NLC. NLC has members, I think about 5 members. Other groups, if I can mention, this one group, Concerned Citizens Forum, Coalition for New Nigeria, Labour Party Patriotic Members Council, the Big Tent. The larger group also is even the Obedience. And all this, and the Obedience, they have different groups and so on. All these were drawn together. This formed the membership of the National Transition Committee to work towards repositioning Labour Party. And that is exactly what we set out to be doing. Unfortunately, there have been so many hitches, and there have been so many legal hurdles. And that is why many people have been saying we have been very slow. But it is not that we have been very slow. We have been very slow, but we have been very steady. Because if we had moved faster, we would have tumbled. And the whole thing, the intelligence would now have worked. Unfortunately for him, it did not work. We continued to mount pressure to the point that even INEC had no choice, because the truth is always one. And that was why the first time some of us got wind of this thing already. We knew it was coming. But for the first time, Nigerians, specifically Labour Party members, saw that he got a roadblock when the quarterly meeting of leadership of parties was convened. At first, I was told they tried to be very polite with him, because we saw when some commissioners cornered him and they were joking, telling him, please, you are not invited. We were told he was not invited before that day, but please don't. And he insisted. There was nothing they could do until they went into the hall, and then they shamefully, they now had to use the local security to walk them out of the hall. And since then, he has not relented, because he is still thinking that there's still a way. But I should tell you that we have gone far ahead. In fact, perhaps by next week or the other week, we will have settled and now focus on the mandates we have. And I want to tell you that the mandate we have is simple, very, very simple. We are to work towards creating registers at the ward level. When we register, mobilize and register, our target was 10 million. But by grace of God, we are going to exceed that. And in fact, some people are already beginning to change to say, let it be 30 million. And it is a possibility. And we want to do it openly and transparently. But we must convince people to join the party. When we convince them, we will also convince them to elect the leaders they want. And by the time we now come up and convene a befitting national convention of the party, where national leadership will be elected, we will hand over, we will be more than happy. We will sit down and watch, satisfied in our minds that yes, we are repositioning Labour Party. This is our mission. I don't know of any other person. I am not having any ambition of becoming anything in Labour Party, apart from being an elder to continue to advise them correctly. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and I want to tell you that although you see local government elections are coming up in some states, I have had tremendous pressure from Kaduna, maybe being my own state. But other states are also following, like Kogi, where local government elections are coming up. We thank God that your own is not coming this year. So we have all the time to sit down and plan very well. I'm assuring you that by the time we plan very well in FCT, I think it's going to be winner take all. And who is going to be the winner? Labour Party, by the grace of God. So once again, I thank you very much for your patience to listen to me. But I'm very, very happy that I'm part and parcel of this meeting. And like we always say, the struggle continues. Thank you very much.
Incredible process. Whether you have money, you don't have money, as long as your people want you, you should represent your people. That is not a function of how much you have in your pocket or whom you can bribe. Rather, it's a function of, are you acceptable to the people? Are you going to prioritize the interests of your people? This is in summary the position of NLC in the whole thing. But you see, those who turn the party into transactional affairs will not buy into this. You see, it's just like those who enjoy sleeping with the wives of soldiers who don't want the war to end. Yes, they wouldn't want the war to end. So those who turn the Labour Party into transactional affair, into business, wouldn't want their tenure to end. Because it's their company, it's their business. They turned our collective effort, our collective patrimony into their private business. We shouldn't be that way. That's what we are trying to do. And I'm telling everybody here, the new party we are trying to produce is for the betterment of every Nigerian. Let me tell you another truth, why you believe what I'm telling you. If I'm going to gain favor because I know those in authority, and those in authority, they have terminal period to stay in the office. So what happens to me when those people I know are no longer in the office? So is it not better we create a system whereby whether I know those in authority, whether I do not know them, I'll still succeed. So it doesn't matter who is the president. It doesn't matter who is the governor. So that every Nigerian will be safe. Every Nigerian will be secured. So, my brothers and sisters, I'm reassuring you people that you're on the right track. As per our brothers out there, unknown to you, they have started coming back. Many of them are approaching us, even from Abure camp, night and day. Myself here, I've attended several meetings with some of the national working committees of Abure. The expired, yes, I have. That is the truth. Many of them are looking for safe landing, soft landing. Some thought we do not know what is happening around them. Some asking us to join them to remove Abure. Yes, before God and man, what I'm saying is truth. If what I'm saying is not truth, let me not survive today. Yes, that is truth. No, if you know what you're talking, you will not be afraid to swear. I've attended meeting with one of the executives of Abure. They want Abure out. They want us to join them. And we know in our heart they're looking for soft landing. We have met many honorable members. Yes, that were not visiting us before. That is the truth. We open our doors for them to come. Some thoughts will repulse them. We tell them, say, look, if there's no sin, there'll be no forgiveness. We know that some are ashamed, but we're not seeing it that way. No, we're not seeing it that way. And I'm asking all of you to open the door. Let them come back. If there's no sin, there'll be no repentance. It's unfortunate that many will burn their fingers before they realize the truth. Then that will be their own punishment for not seeing the truth. If you think Abure, many are afraid in case Abure survive, in case Abure remains in the office. Abure cannot remain in the office. It is over. Just like we cannot go back yesterday. Abure cannot come back.
Yesterday is gone.
No, yesterday is gone. Can never come back. That is the truth. We saw it coming. And that's why INEC has stopped dealing with him. It's an open thing. It's not a hidden thing. And that is true. Many of you are conversant what happened in Ondo. He couldn't complete it. He sold the form to the man, but he couldn't complete the processing because the tenure expired. And we are trying to solve the situation, to solve the problem. So I'm telling you that you're on the right track. You are doing the right thing. Those who are dreaming to suspend the credible people, no. You see, it's easier for a madman to call somebody who is saying a madman. Yes, it's normal. But you see, when you look at him, see him with pity. That is the truth. See him with pity. Nelson Mandela said if we should treat them badly the way they treated us, then we have no reason to say that what they did to us was wrong. We're not going to treat them the way they treated us. We're not going to call them bad. We're not going to call them mad. But with their actions, they know they have gone astray. And we are asking them to come back because the truth is this. We want the better side of Nigeria to emerge. Because hunger do not know tribe or race or religion or wherever you come from. Insecurity do not know tribe or race or religion. And these are the things we want to solve. So please, I'm pleading with all of you to support the project, the activities of NTC in your ward, in your local government, at the state level, at the national level. We are not perfect. It's only Almighty God that is perfect. But what we are going to assure you is that whatever decision we are taking, whatever we are doing, to the best of our conscience, is for the betterment of all of us. Thank you.
Intellectually composed, and amongst us are professionals from diverse fields who have joined Labour Party for the sole purpose of breeding a party where good governance will be our watchword. And so when we saw what was happening in the party, the first concern that made it concern stakeholders was that how do we address the gaps in the party from the ward to the national level? I will confess to all of us here that we approached the national chairman then and gave him our concept note, which he received, perused, and handed over to his secretary. By and large, the party National Working Committee approved 3 of its members to be part of our executive at the national level. We are not enemies of the party. I hear people say we have come to take over the party. No, we have come to put the party on the right foundation upon which we will breed good governance in Nigeria. We have all tested PRP. I will tell you for my own sake, we have tested NEPO, we have tested MPN, we have tested SDP, NRC, even though they were short-lived. We have tested PRP, we now have MPN and the other group. We all tested them. We knew at that time when one of them confessed that Nigerians have not started picking food from the dustbin. So we are still, well, meanwhile we are not comfortable. We also saw PDP, we saw APC, and today everybody, every Nigerian is suffering. The only party that is remaining as the salvation ship for Nigerians is Labour Party. We also feel, why should we idly allow Labour Party to be hijacked? That is where we differ from the Abure-led leadership. We are happy Labour Party, NLC, through its political commission, reached out to us as concerned members, and we begin to partner. That led to the April 8th stakeholder meeting, where a vote of no confidence was passed on the leadership of Abure, Julius Abure. Thereafter, the commission, through the communique, established the National Transition Committee. The concerned stakeholders were not left at the background. We are made to chair the committee on contact and stakeholders engagement. So we are actually the interface between the transition committee and all of you, individually and collectively. And as parents, we must carry you people along in all your cries and all your joys, and present them to the committee at all times. And so we are saddled with a lot of responsibility towards the growth of the transition project. I wouldn't want to bore you much. We are really, really delighted to work with you. And we will always listen to you people whenever you want to reach the executives of the Transition Committee with your prayers, our requests. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much.